Hello you guys, and thanks for catching me for another video. In today's video I'm gonna give a few tips that help me get the most out of my faith planner. So if that's something you want to see, just keep watching. Alright you guys, so for me, I figured out a few things along the way that have helped me, and I hope that it may help you if you notice you're not as consistent or getting the most out of your faith planner. So we're just going to go over a few tips, and so we're going to get this opened up and start going through it. Now my first tip would be to set your planner up in a way that flows with how you're using it daily. So here for me, I have the plan where it says scripture, devotional, and prayer. And if you would look at my dividers, you would see they go in that same order. So I can start with my scripture, my devotional, my prayer, and then I have my sermon notes here, study and just extra notes. But this way I'm able to get to the sections that I'm using more often. They're in the same order that I plan on using them. So my first tip would be to set your planner up in the way you're planning on using it for that day. Now the second tip I would say is have a variety of inserts inside of your planner. What I noticed is if I had the exact same inserts that I would have to use for an entire month or an entire year, I would get very bored. So if you look in my scripture writing section, I have, let me get to it. Let's see. I have three different inserts. I have this insert here, and then I have this insert, and then lastly I have this insert. That way I can use one insert a week or however I choose, but that way I'm not getting bored. As well as with my devotional, I can use my daily devotional on one page for those days I'm really busy and don't have much time, or I can use my daily devotional that's on 2 pages if I have more time. So the second tip would be to have a variety of different inserts, as well as different things you can do while you're faith planning. It doesn't always have to be scripture writing. It doesn't always have to be daily devotional. Sometimes you can just journal or Bible journal. Just mix it up. That way you're not getting bored with it. That way it's something fun and exciting that you're coming to every morning versus something that feels like a task or something you just have to do each morning. So that would be the second thing, is to make it fun, have a variety of things and mix it up. My second, or my third, I'm sorry, thing would be to have some type of habit tracker. It always feels good when you're able to mark out what you're doing and look back and see that you were consistent with it. So I keep a monthly habit tracker here. That way I can kind of see how I'm consistent, as well as I keep a Bible tracker. That way I can have dots, and once all these pages start becoming full of dots, you feel, I do apologize, you guys. You feel a little bit better because you're like, okay, I am doing this. Because sometimes you'll feel like I am not doing great at this. I'm not being consistent and things of that sort. And you can get discouraged. But when you have those trackers to look back on, it's kind of like, it lifts you up and like, okay, I've been doing it. It may not have been perfect, but I have been keeping up with it. So that's one thing I would suggest, is always have some kind of habit tracker. That way you're able to build up the momentum and look back on it for those days when you feel like you're not doing your best, and you can say, well, I've done it in the past, I can continue to do it, or I can do it in the future. So that's one thing. Tip number 4 would be keep it simple. You don't have to overly decorate. You don't have to do everything you see on Instagram. Your planner doesn't have to look like my planner or anyone else. It's all personal. It's however you feel like setting up your plan, whatever works best for you. So we all have different ways of expressing ourselves. All of our relationships are different. So keep it simple to what you like to do. Would be the fourth tip, excuse me. And then the very last tip, or my fifth tip, would be to have a plan. Go into your week with a plan. Not saying that you have to stick with the plan every day or every week. By all means, if you feel something in your spirit telling you to do something else, whereas on Sunday evening you planned it all out, throw that plan out the window, right? And do whatever you're feeling. So with this, you can make a plan like, this week I'm going to focus on this topic or whatever. This week I am going to read this devotional. This week I am going to read this book. That way when you get up like me early in the morning, sometimes I feel like my brain is not ready yet. So when I have a plan, I know exactly what I'm going through. I'm no longer like wondering what to do or sitting there wasting 30 minutes trying to figure out what I'm doing that day. So I would say definitely start your week with a plan. And then while we were going through this, I thought of a bonus tip. So very last tip, tip number 6, which is our bonus tip, is to reward yourself. I know studying and growing closer with God is a reward all in itself. But reward yourself. Say if you fill this habit tracker up, if you got 20 days out of the 30 days on this habit tracker, you could purchase a new Bible or purchase a new devotional. Or another thing that I do here when I'm able to really spend time and dive deep and come into my favorite spot here in my office and study, I have a little coffee machine. It's not like the regular coffee machine that's downstairs. It's just like regular coffee. It makes me like a little fancy coffee so I can get a latte and cappuccino or something like that. But that's only if I make time to come upstairs, spend time in here. I can only drink it here in this office while I'm studying. So it's not something I get all of the time, but it's a reward when I'm able to sit here and dive deeper into my studies. So the bonus tip would be to reward yourself. Think of something at the beginning of the month. If you're able to, like I say, be consistent, or it doesn't even have to be monthly. You could say for the week, if you're able to be consistent for the week, because we can take baby steps here. It's not like trying to get it all done at the very beginning, because of course you'll get overwhelmed. But if you can do it for an entire week, maybe you can go and buy something you like or something like that. So reward yourself, and that'll give you motivation to come back and keep doing it more. So you guys, I hope these tips helped. If you have some tips, please leave them in the comments. I would love to hear. Everybody else in the community that are reading the comments would love to hear. We're all here to help each other. So be sure to leave your tips in the comment. What are you doing? What are you planning on doing to help you get the most out of your planner and be more consistent? Other than that, you guys, have an amazing day. And until next video, bye.